What do you think of when you hear the term magic sky daddy? Does it offend you? Do you kind of get up in your feels? Are you worried that there are people on YouTube saying magic sky daddy? Welcome to my channel, Skepticus. I am your boy, Adam of Nola. I'm going a bit off script today. I guess you could say I'm keeping it real or going off the dome. Maybe at 52, I shouldn't say off the dome anymore. In fact, I don't even know if at 22 anyone says off the dome anymore. So maybe I should just stick to old people speak. I'm not sure. But regardless, I'm just diving into this ad hoc because I've noticed some trends lately, and I just kind of wanted to have a little chat with everyone about magic sky daddy. I've noticed lately that I've been getting some more views and some more comments, which is wonderful. Thank you all for that. Even those of you who hate my guts, thanks for the view. But as I get more comments, there is a little trend. There's many trends, but there is a little trend that I've noticed cropping up, which is that anytime I say magic sky daddy in a video, I will invariably get a handful of snotty, snarky, butthurt comments about how I'm such a jerk and they had to just tune out because I was so ignorant as to say magic sky daddy. And they knew that everything I said after that was just going to be complete and utter bullocks. And no, I'm not British, but sometimes it's just fun to say bullocks. Now, it's not that I expect to get nothing but glowing comments. Trust me, I do not. And all of you good Christ-like Christians have done a wonderful job of showing your grace and love all over my comment section. Yay on you. And I'm a big boy. I can handle that. I don't really care, to be honest. But this whole aversion to magic sky daddy really strikes me a little odd. Now, to be clear, I don't expect anyone out there in the YouTubosphere to actually appreciate when someone insults them. Now, I could say, wow, some random guy on the internet that you've never met insulted you. Maybe you should just move on and be an adult about it. But I know that not everyone out there is an adult, whether it's physically or mentally or emotionally. Some people are very much children and they have to get butthurt over certain phrases and they have to let you know in the comments down below. And that's fine. But I understand if I am giving you the sads, if I am insulting something, maybe you feel like you have to get into the comments. But to me, there's a difference between an insult versus a phrase that just makes you uncomfortable for reasons that maybe you don't want to address. Let me give you an example. Let's say that I got on my video and I said, hey, Christian, you're stupid for being a Christian. Again, whether or not you should really be juvenile enough to put all of your hate down in the comments below, that's a question for another day and probably one that only you can answer. But I understand it's confrontational. It would be juvenile on my part to say such a thing, and it might make you get up in your feels, maybe even so much that you feel the need to put something in the comments. If I said that Christianity in general is stupid, again, kind of a dick move. And if you really want to reply to it, then so be it. I understand this. Even if I just said that theism is stupid or your God is stupid, I understand that this feels to many Christians or many theists like a personal attack. So it's not like I expect any positive response from those who have these beliefs. But when I say magic sky daddy, what is it that has you so butthurt about that phrase? Think about that for a second. Magic sky daddy. Now, you may be thinking, well, it's obvious, Adam. What a horrible thing to call my God. Okay, that's fine. What if instead I said, let's talk about your omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent Lord God who lives in the heavens? You're not offended by that, right? Even though I have described an omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent being, which sounds a lot to me like magic, who is in the heavens, which sounds like the sky to me, and is, by your own holy book's definition, the Father, which sounds like daddy. So apparently, if I say you're omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, Lord God who lives in the heavens, you're fine with that, right? But if I say Magic Sky Daddy, you're all hella butthurt over it. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to gaslight you here. I understand that the term Magic Sky Daddy sounds dismissive because guess what? It is dismissive. And also, guess what? This is an atheist channel. Granted, it's possible that you clicked on this video or one of my other videos, not knowing that it's an atheist channel, but I don't try to be very subtle about it. It's not like I'm giving you 45 minutes of pseudo-Christian content and then springing atheism on you at the last minute. If you pay any attention at all to the rest of my content, to the content that you're presumably watching now, or even just to the title of my channel, you probably have a good idea that I'm not a Christian. And yet, when I say Magic Sky Daddy, that gets you up in your feels now, doesn't it? And I think that says more about you and your religion than it does about me. Yeah, it's kind of dismissive because guess what? I'm an atheist. And the idea of your omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, magical father who lives in the sky, in the heavens, feels patently silly to me. I understand that it doesn't feel silly to you, and that's okay. But if you think that everyone doesn't hold your beliefs is going to do nothing but address your Magic Sky Daddy in the most reverent terms possible, in all of the terminology that you choose in your religion or in your holy book, then, well, you're kind of naive now, aren't you? Again, it would be different if I said, hey, everything about you and your beliefs and your God is stupid. But more often than not, I'm saying Magic Sky Daddy. And it's not like this is the only thing that I say. If you've watched even 10 minutes of my content on my other videos, you know that I don't just say Magic Sky Daddy. Depending upon the context of what I'm talking about, I frequently say God or Lord or Yahweh, because I understand the terms. I was a Christian for 40 years, despite everyone in the comments trying to act like I know nothing about Christianity. Because as soon as a Christian finds that they don't agree with your content and that you're telling them that you've been Christian for years, the first thing they're going to tell you is that you were never a Christian or you don't know anything about Christianity. But despite all that, I've been a Christian for many years before I finally decided that was ridiculous. But I understand the perspective, and I understand that depending upon the context of what I'm trying to describe, I don't just use one term, Magic Sky Daddy, in every single context. But there are absolutely times when I like to use the phrase Magic Sky Daddy. There are times when I think that it fits all too well, and I'm not going to stop. And if that makes you dismiss my content or dismiss me as a content creator, then guess what? I really couldn't care less. I don't need every person on YouTube to watch my content. But if you are at least honest enough with your own religion, and I'm not telling you that you have to be a skeptic or an agnostic or an atheist, but if you're at least honest enough with your own religion to realize that sometimes your own claims sound downright silly to someone who doesn't hold these beliefs, then you would realize that the mere fact that someone utters the phrase Magic Sky Daddy isn't in and of itself some reason to just dismiss every bit of content that's come out of their mouth or that's been presented on their channel. Now, I don't need you to like any of my content. You don't have to hit the like button. You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to watch any more of my videos. And if you don't do any of those things, I will still sleep just as well tonight as I did last night. And I'm assuming you will too, and that's okay. But if you're going to hang around here a little bit, trust me, I'm not always going to speak about your Christian God in the most respectful, reverent, and traditional ways that you might imagine if you walked into your standard Christian church. And if that's a problem, that's okay. But if it is a problem, what does it say about your security in your own faith, in your security in your own religion? I was a Christian for 40 years. There were Muslims who did not say nice things about my religion. There were atheists who did not say nice things about my religion. How much sleep did I lose over it? 0. I couldn't have cared less. And I've watched all sorts of content on the web from people who love Jeebus, from people who don't, from people who love Allah, from people who don't. And I'm not going to say that I've never put a comment on someone else's stuff, but the number of times that I get butthurt about the way that someone else flippantly refers to my God or my beliefs is 0. Yeah, couldn't care less. So if you're that person who gets all butthurt by it, then congratulations, you mighty Christian you. You might have the greatest faith on earth. Thank you for watching this little outburst of mine. I'm happy that you're all here. If you've made it this far, I appreciate you, even if you're putting snarky comments down below. I hope to see you on future videos. I hope to see more of your snarky butthurt comments. But until I do, lo, I say unto you, stay skeptical.